Did you confirm everything with Russell and Hunter?
Not yet. I'm gonna reach out tomorrow again to confirm. We're live on all of it, by the way.
Right now?
Yeah. Yeah, just make sure it publishes to the website and everything.
We're live on all of it, by the way. Right now?
Yeah, turn it.
Just make sure it publishes to the website.
Turn it down.
Everything. Just trying to send it to somebody.
3 minutes, 30 seconds. One minute.
Chattahoochee.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Tennessee?
Nah. Georgia.
Georgia?
Yep. And we're live. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the one and only We Play Baseball Podcast. I am your host, Rod White. With my cohort today, it's just going to be me and him running solo, doing this interview with Coach Hunter Vick. My main man, Carl Nichols. Give him a hand.
What's going on?
So, Carl, it's back to just us today. Andrew had some. Andrew's about to get a whipping if he ain't get that done at the house.
I understand.
Marvin had some things that's still popping off for him right now. Orville's dealing with some things. David is still out right now, so it's just going to be us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a little bit about the We Play Baseball Podcast. This podcast is designed specifically to provide you as players, parents, anyone that is interested in baseball with information about what's going on out here on the collegiate level, on the major league level, from a scouting standpoint, actually from a major league level in general. We also delve into player development. We delve into, the overall aspect of making you a better ball player, even from the mental side. Because we had Steve Springer come on on our Tuesday, and he talked the mental side of things. So, Carl, go ahead and give a brief introduction of yourself, and I'll follow up behind you, and we'll get this ball rolling because we got Hunter calling in earlier than normal, so we can get this thing rolling today.
Yeah, Carl Nichols. Played 18 years professionally, a couple of years in the big leagues, major leagues with the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros. Been coaching in various capacities the last 20 years or so, including for Team USA. Coached with the Urban Youth Academy in Compton for a few years. Some college stuff and a lot of travel ball. So right now I'm just, I guess you can call me a roving instructor, where I'm just traveling the country, really, trying to help guys develop and get ready for that next level.
Yeah. And again, I am Rod White. I am your host for the show. I am the associate head coach at Texas College. I spent a few years at Alabama State University as an assistant coach. I spent a few years in the Red Sox and Phillies organizations in the associate scouting role. Big time baseball lover. We got a lot of people joining in. Hey guys, Scott, thank you guys for joining in on the watch. Dwayne Walker, y'all, appreciate you guys. But at the end of the day, I'm here now. We created an organization called the National Scouting Bureau, which is a group of guys, me, Carl Nichols, Orr Frenchuk, Marvin Freeman, Derek May, and several other guys who put together this organization to kind of provide information to players and make sure players are informed, telling them the truth about what's going on, and giving them opportunities and promoting them on the collegiate and professional level to both college coaches and to scouts. So we want to thank you guys for joining us today. We have a great friend of mine coming on by the name of Hunter Vick. And I'll just kind of tell you his layout here in just a few minutes. But Carl, let me ask you this. You posted something earlier on Facebook I said we'll talk about. And it was dealing with how the draft is going to help the 2019, let me back up, the 2020 draft and the 2021 draft is going to benefit the 2019 players. If you don't mind, elaborate on that for a minute. We got about 3 minutes before he calls in.
Okay, well, it's going to benefit the guys who take advantage of it. Basically, however many rounds they end up with this year, whether it be 5, 10, or whatever, there's going to be way fewer guys competing for jobs this summer.
True.
Which means the guys who are on the bubble for this year are going to be allowed a second chance or an opportunity to prove themselves this summer.
Right.
So hopefully those guys are out working and trying to improve their weaknesses and those type of things. And like I said, so they get an extra summer to prove themselves. Now, next year's draft, the 2021 class was already a strong draft class. It was one of the strongest in years. So now you're going to add guys from the 2020 class to the 2021 class, so it's going to be even tougher. So those guys who are getting a reprieve for this year, it's going to be even tougher next year because you're going to see more guys getting released and looking for jobs at the 2021 class, 2021 draft.
At the 2021 draft, correct? Right.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be a lot of. Well, I was going to say there's going to be a lot of college seniors, free agents signings.
Right.
So it's the landscape of the draft is changing.
It's changing completely. You guys, if you got want to text message, or if you got any questions, you can text 334-249-2290, or you can tweet us at WePlayBaseball. And actually, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you can watch the live podcast again on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. So I'm gonna, at this point in time, Carl, I'm gonna go ahead and just introduce Hunter as he's getting ready to come on right now. So let me get back to my screen so I can see things correctly. Tonight we have the pleasure of sitting down and talking with my friend and one of the best up and coming coaches in the game. He is in his second season at the helm of the Chattahoochee Valley Community College, better known as Chat Valley. He began his collegiate career in the Alabama Community College Conference, where he played his first 2 years of college baseball at Faulkner State Community College. He played collegiately at the University of West Florida, where he started in all 109 games of the Aeronauts over his 2 seasons being there, hitting .376 as a senior. In 2004, with 20 doubles, 3 triples, 6 home runs, and 29 RBIs, and he did that in 192 at-bats. He then went on to play professionally for 4 years, including 3 years in the Tampa Bay Rays organization. Following a 4-year professional playing career, he coached professionally for 3 years in the Independent League as an infield hitting coach with the Pensacola Pelicans in 2008. That was in the American Association. The Coastal Kingfish, which was in the Continental League in 2009. And the Sussex Skyhawks in the Can-Am League in 2010. In 2013, he helped Central Alabama Community College help lead the Central Alabama Community College, I should say, to the NJCAA, which is the National Junior College Athletic Association, championship as an assistant. From there, he went on from 2014 to 2016 as the volunteer assistant at Auburn University, working primarily with the team's infielders, helping establish a new program record with a fielder percentage of .973 during the 2015 season. In addition, I'm going to bring him on in a minute here. In addition to all of the on-field team success during his collegiate coaching tenure, 28 of his former players are currently playing professional baseball. Now at the helm of the Chat Valley Pirates baseball program, he is looking to build another national championship. Welcome to the We Play Baseball Podcast, Coach Hunter Vick. What's up, buddy? Hold on, man. I think I got you on mute still. My bad. Hold on.
Okay. I'm good.
There you go.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Rob.
Hey, not a problem. How you doing, man? How you holding up out here with this pandemic? Is it driving you going stir crazy yet?
Yes, I am. I appreciate you letting me get a little break from the trampoline.
Yeah, I got you.
Been on trampoline for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I feel you, man. So tell me this. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I just gave your background, but tell us who Hunter Vick is. What do you want people to know about Hunter Vick as a man, as a coach, as a family man? What is it that you want people to know?
The biggest thing is just, I just care for student athletes is the biggest thing. I love the game of baseball, and I love teaching the game, and always look to give back to the game. It's something I have a passion for, is seeing guys reach their dreams and, maybe help them along the way through the coaching.
Gotcha. So tell us this. So like I told you before, this podcast is really designed to provide parents, players, our future stars with information at the various levels, from D1 to D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. We try to make sure that they have information so they can make sound decisions. And yesterday we had Coach Jeff Johnson on. Did a wonderful job talking about that, but I want to reiterate it again, that the JUCO route is not a bad route. We want to make sure people understand that. But from your standpoint, explain to the audience, like, what's the difference between a D1 JUCO up to a D3 JUCO, so they can get an understanding what the differences are.
The big difference is just scholarships and kind of what you can offer. For us in the state of Alabama, we're just 24 scholarships straight across the board, where we can offer books, tuition, and fees.
Right.
It's kind of where we stand. I know Florida, they have, depending on the institution, they can have full scholarships, which allow them to give housing and things like that. Division II, I coached I was at East Central Community College for 2 years and allowed us to kind of give housing and things like that. So that's what the main difference in the levels is kind of what you can give and what can't you give. And right. Division II can kind of give more,
Yeah. Explain that. So when you say Division II can kind of get more, what do you mean by that? Help the audience understand what you mean.
They can give books, tuition, fees, and they can also give housing. Okay. They have dorms. A lot of the schools in Mississippi, where I come from, where a lot of the whole state is Division II. They have dorms and they have cafeterias, which allow you to have meal plans. It's just a lot easier for the student athlete because you live on campus, you go to school on campus, you practice there on campus, and you have a cafeteria that you can eat as well.
Right.
So that's the big difference in Division I and Division II is some Division I's have cafeterias, but for the most part, you kind of have to fend for yourself, basically, and eat kind of whatever you want.
All right, just to redirect here just a little bit. We want to talk about player development a little bit. Tell us what's your take, your outlook on travel ball now. It used to be where we all and Coach Jeff talked about this too, where there was post whatever and all that it had a 60 had a 60-mile radius, and you had the best of the best kids on that team, and the best would go play this team. Now you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry, I'm just saying it like this, has a team now based on whether, their son didn't make another team, so they started a team, whatever it may be. What is your take right now on travel ball? Has it watered down anything? Has it made it better? For you, what do you see in it?
I think there's pros and cons. I think, the pros is, it allows kids to play a lot of baseball. Kids that love baseball, that maybe doesn't have an opportunity with one team can jump to another. The biggest thing that I've noticed just in the college level is getting them to transition in just to being competitive. A lot of times I think the showcase thing is taking a lot of the competitiveness out of baseball where, if I don't do well, there's another game tomorrow. You're not going to lose a spot or anything like that because a lot of the teams are, they're kept, the numbers are kept down for a reason. It's because they're paying and they're going to play, So I do like it from the recruiting standpoint because you can go to one place and it allows you to see a lot of different type of players, So I think there are good things to it, but, the biggest thing is having to teach that competitiveness in the kids when they get to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Carl Nichols. And it's funny you say that because in a lot of cases, travel ball is win at all costs, but they're not actually teaching them how to win.
Correct.
They recruit the best players, and if that player doesn't work out, then they go get another player.
Exactly.
Rather than teach that kid how to be a winner. And
it's kind of like the old independent ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just go get you, roll them in, roll them out.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do like, I think it's good for kids getting opportunities to play. But like you said, I think that's the biggest thing is teaching the kids. You can have all the talents you want, but teaching them how to win in a team concept is probably the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go to this next question here. Let's discuss the JUCO fall season. Okay, you guys get 20 games to play. Is your focus with those 20 games? And this is it's not a loaded question, but it's just kind of where your mindset is. Okay, development versus evaluation. Are those 20 games designed for you to? Is it more focused on one or the other, vice versa, or is it kind of a real combination of it all?
My biggest thing is I don't really break too much down during the fall. I think they're at Chat Valley 1 for a reason. Because we think they're a good baseball player. So I think for young kids, they have to fail. I think they have to fail before they'll listen, one, and before they're willing to make an adjustment. So for me, I just kind of let them play. Especially at least the first half of the fall.
Yeah,
is just kind of let them. Hey, let's see what you got, man. Go out there, no fear. Don't worry about making mistakes, and let's just see what you can bring to the table. And instead of trying to make adjustments, and then they're thinking about that, and you don't really get an opportunity to see what type of player that is because they're thinking, they're in their head. So I kind of allow it. I just let them play. That's my biggest thing is let me see what you can bring to the table. And a lot of times in just letting them play, it allows you to see, see your competitors, see your team guys that sacrifice at bats, moving runners up and things like that without being asked to do. So for me, early on, I would say just to let them play, and then later on after the fall or later into the fall, we'll kind of break it down if I see a guy that's really struggling and need to go ahead and make adjustments. But for the most part, hey, let them play and let's see what we got at the end of the fall.
Right. Okay. Delve into recruiting just a little bit. In a normal recruiting year, because obviously the next few years may be kind of it's kind of be different. But for these guys that are ninth grade, 7th, 8th graders, let's start down there. 7th, 8th grade, 9th, 10th grade. When you're recruiting, what level are you looking at? And when I mean age, where you would start looking at a kid, one. And two, what would you tell even those 7th, 8th graders they need to start focusing on, or start working towards, rather?
Yeah, I think as far as the recruiting process, for me, looking at kids, I normally at the earliest for junior college would be probably 11th grade year, and anything earlier may be a situation where a guy may not have grades or something like that to get in Division I. But for the most part, it'll probably start their junior year. But as far as the recruiting process for younger kids, is my thing I've always told kids is try to pick you 5 schools. I'll try to keep 5 schools in mind, whether that, hey, my dream school, my Division I school, maybe there's two or three Division II schools, an NAI school and a junior college, and don't, and when one goes away, add another one to that list, is because the recruiting process can get so overwhelming with so many schools out there and so many people calling and things like that is really just doing your homework as a player and picking the schools that you think you're a good fit at, right, and staying with those 5 schools, because that makes the process a lot easier and a lot less stressful.
Right. Now, you're a big hitting guy. I called out some of the stats and things that you had and some of the things that your teams have been doing. What's your philosophy of hitting? What's your goal when your guys go to the plate? Do you have a certain thing set for the top of your lineup, the middle of your lineup, the bottom of your lineup, or is it say, hey guys, we're working to the best of our abilities, let's produce? What's your kind of philosophy there?
Yeah, our philosophy always offensively is just maximize our potential, whatever that is that year is just to maximize what we got. Our biggest thing is from a team standpoint, offensively, is we want to be above 50% quality at bats. Mm-hmm. I think if we can have at least 50% during that game, quality at bats from the whole 9 guys. I think we hadn't made a bunch of errors and pitching's held up. It gives us a chance to win every day. So our philosophy is let's have a team quality at bat at the end of the game 50% or more. And normally if you can have 50% or more, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose.
Now, I just want to elaborate on that a little bit. Because I'm around travel ball, amateur baseball mostly. And so quality at bat you don't hear talked about at that level a lot. So can you kind of elaborate what a quality at bat is and how do you teach it?
Yeah, quality at bat is it doesn't necessarily have to be a hit, because a lot of guys and a lot of slumps come with guys that are searching for hits, and we don't want to do that because that normally is the wrong road to go down. So we try to keep it as quality at bats where say we have like 8 to 10 on the list that allow guys to kind of in our dugout that allow guys to look at, and it's having an eight pitch at bat or more. Barreling a ball up. Doesn't necessarily have to be a hit. A base on balls hit by pitch. RBI, scoring a run at third, less than 2 out. There's a lot of different ways. An 0-2 walk is another one. We get an 0-2 count. If a guy can battle back and get a walk, hey, there's your quality at bat. No matter what you do during that bat, you fought back and got that. So, from my standpoint, it's kind of a way for guys to look at, hey, I'm not 0 for 4, I'm 2 for 4. I had 2 quality at bats versus I didn't get a hit today. And it kind of keeps their spirits up going. Because we know hitting's it's a roller coaster, and you just hope there's more highs than there are lows. And I think we've had a lot of success with looking at the big picture and not just focusing on our average. And it's a great way to go about it, doing that.
Right.
Awesome.
Couple other questions for you. Just player development. Let's go back to it a little bit. What would you tell guys, parents, kids right now to some of the things that they need to focus on from the development side? What would be some key things you would tell let's say a ninth grader going into his 10th grade year now and preparing, getting ready for his junior year? Development side. What are the things that you look for?
I would tell them that the main thing is just finding your place, finding somewhere to play, that's going to allow you to get the reps and the things that you need, And I think going in and looking at that is looking at roster sizes and looking how many players they have on teams, So the main thing is you want to get out there and get yourself exposed to recruit and things like that. And the only way you can do that is getting on the field, But the way of doing that, I think is just getting reps and having good guidance and knowing who you're playing for has, your best interest in mind.
Right. So, attacking the next year, you got your incoming freshmen that you're looking at, and you got your sophomores who get another year now due to the pandemic that we're dealing with. So, what, in your mind, what does that look like across the board for the next couple of years?
As far as
well, you got the sophomores coming back. You got money that you got to allocate to these guys. You got freshmen that you've already committed to coming in, and it's just going to be a headache right now. Tell us your headache right now.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a headache that no coach wants to kind of go through. Because one, we're out for the kids. That's why we do it, is to try to develop them and allow them to reach their dreams. And this has caused a lot of chaos as far as rosters go.
Right.
And that Division I level all the way down. I think everyone is kind of going through it. But just talking to the players and kind of just being straight up with them, being honest with them, and letting them know kind of where they stand early enough that will allow them maybe to move on. If not, and I've had to go through this the last couple of days, calling guys and letting them know there won't be scholarships there this next year, that they were on this past year, which is a tough thing to always do. But like I tell them, if there's any way I can help moving on, I'd love to have you back. But if you can't make it work, I'll be happy to help you out any way I can possible. So it is a tough time for everybody, but I think everybody's kind of going through it, and it's a situation nobody wants to be in. We just have to do it.
Yeah, me and my head coach. I'm out at Texas College, so so we sat down this morning virtually, like we're doing now, basically, and we had that conversation. So we committed some kids. We had some kids that were already committed, and we talked to today. Luckily for us, a lot of these kids are academic, and that's major. That's been a major plus for us, them coming in, and so it's.
And that's something I've been looking at the last couple of days as well. It's just seeing if there are ways that, hey, I can get this guy money here and there, just something that'll help out, and basically filling the roster. I think every coach is kind of going through this during this time right now.
Hey, we're getting very creative. At this point in time. So, but yeah, man, again, let's redirect again. Let's go. I want to give parents a little more from your brain. Pick a little more from your brain on the hitting side of things. I think Carl has some more questions on the hitting side of things because he's a hitting guy and he spends a lot of time with a lot of guys that are either draft picks, potential draft picks, or guys that are high JUCO players or high level D1 guys. He spends a lot of time in those. So I think he has some other questions too for you there.
Well, just as far as mechanics, what are your basic philosophies?
The basic, the number one thing is I think having a base. I hear everything's from the ground up is what I like to express to my guys. So the main thing is just getting them, and that's probably the toughest thing is getting the guys in their legs. They don't want to get in those legs. They want to come out of those legs and just really stress that, staying in the leg, swing it up from the ground up. And that's where power is created from the ground up. And that's what's going to allow you to have a consistent swing and things like that. So the biggest thing is for me early on is just trying to get them in their lower half.
Right. So how do you, when you see a guy, because I run into this all the time, you see a guy who's having or has had some success where he came from or where he is now, but you see something in the swing that you know for sure is not going to work at the next level of where you're going to be playing. How do you convince that kid to change or to try something different from what he's doing now?
And I see that a lot more at the junior college level. Is guys can get away with a lot of things, and it's kind of it's a fine line where you want to maybe touch on it here and there early in practice, but not get them away from their approach and kind of being who they are at that. But yes, them knowing that, hey, down the road, this is what's going to cause you to struggle. But not totally getting in that head so much that they can't go out there and perform. And it's a fine line where you have to, hopefully they trust you enough and realize that, you've been around a long time and play with a lot of good players and things like that. And I think a lot of that just comes with trust and then trusting me, hey, I've been there, I've done that. This is what's going to happen. And maybe they can believe me. But the biggest thing is I don't want to take them out from who they are at the moment. So it is a fine line because I see it all the time. Get away with a lot of things and that, man.
And sometimes you just got to let them fail.
That's right.
And then build them back up.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in that is let them fail. Those ears open up a lot more after.
That's true.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
So you spent years, and I say years. You spent time at various levels. Okay, you spent time. Obviously, right now at the JUCO level, you were at you were at Central when you won the national championship there. Tell us the experience of the national championship from your standpoint as an assistant coach at that point in time, winning a national championship. Talk about that.
it's hard to put in words. Hey.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm messed up. I think. Okay. All right. It's kind of hard to put in words. It's just one of those surreal moments that you always dream. You always dream of getting there. And when you get there, you never think you can win it.
We lost him. All right, guys. I see Coach Vasquez. Coach, how you doing? Jeff, Stephen Allen, Chad Bishop, Ken. What's up, Stanley? Got a bunch of guys on here. He's calling back in right now. Let me let him back in. Hunter, you back, Coach? Let me see if I can take your mute off here. That's not Hunter, that's his wife.
Yeah.
You back? Let's see here. There we are.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. Now we got him back. Yeah, we lost you for a minute there, Coach.
My internet messing up.
Right, it happens. Believe us, we dealt with it that first week. I was using Wi-Fi instead of hardwire for this deal. So believe me, I was very irritated. I left out of this room sweating. I was so mad.
Oh man, I know.
Yeah, but we got
to go back to your question about national championship. I mean, it's just a surreal moment. You know, you hope every coach gets to experience. Just to see the joy on the kids' faces, and just accomplish something that that's so far out there when you begin the season. But a lot of credit just goes to the players. They were just resilient, and it was just a great year.
Yeah. And you now, and asking that question, you've been on various levels. So I said we said, now you're the head coach at Chat. You was at Central there. You were at another JUCO. You were at Auburn. Tell us about your Auburn experience. What was that level like, coaching at that level of competition, level of players, true D1, what we consider true D1 guys, a lot of draftable guys in the mix. What was that like, having to help manage those guys?
No, I had a great experience. One, I just, because I love teaching the game so much, I love the opportunity to work with that type of athlete.
Yeah.
That's any coach's dream, is just that loves the game and loves teaching the game, is just to have the opportunity to work with those guys. But it is a business at that level. It's a lot more business than it is at junior college. There's a lot more money floating around.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and it was a great experience. Not only work with the guys that we had the opportunity, to sign Casey Mize, which was the first overall. So still having that relationship with him, just getting to work with those guys, it was it was a blast to be able to do that. And, the only difference, I would say, Division I, it's kind of hard you don't get to spend as much time with them at the Division I level.
Yeah.
I would kind of work with the infielders, and I had, there were several times where we had 2 hours a week kind of to work with them. I had infield 30 minutes for 4 days, and so, and that's what I try to tell a lot of the kids recruiting wise, if you're ready to go that level and you're ready, you better be ready, because it's not a lot of development going on, because it's win now.
Right. Say that one more time, because I don't think people. I don't mean to interrupt you. Say that one more time, because I don't think people understand at that level. Say that one more time.
As far as it's win now at that level, you have to, you just don't get the opportunity to get the time and get the reps that a lot of kids need to progress and get better. If you are that good and you're ready, that's where you want to be at. You know what I mean? That's where the best baseball is played at. But if you're not, I would think of other routes just for the player development, because time and time I see the guys that go there out of high school, Division I, they sit the first year, and they call me the next year. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're coming back. And what happens is you sit out a whole year. I mean,
it does a lot.
Game really catches up to you.
It does a lot. Yes, it does.
Yes, it's tough, and with the time restrictions, it's hard to get better. You know, it's hard to get better.
Right.
So that's one thing from being a coaching standpoint that I do like about the junior colleges is we don't have any time restrictions. Kind of, we can go out there and, hey, if you got something to work on, we can work on until you get better. You know.
Right.
So I think there are pros and cons. Everybody wants to be at the Division I level. If you're ready, I would say that's the biggest thing for kids and all out there. If you're ready, hey, go, let's do it, you know.
Right.
But if you're not, leave your options open because it's all about developing. Because when you're developing, the guy that's there sitting on the bench, y'all are going to switch places.
Right. Right.
What happens? You go to Division, he comes to me. You know, it's kind of, and that's normally what happens. And we see it every year. We get calls all over the place that have sat there, and you know, and when they get there, they're so far behind. Even your team, you know, you're like, man, how could this guy ever have played there?
Right.
It's just sitting there. It's not. The game catches up with it.
Right. Carl, you got anything?
No, I agree with him 100%. I don't coach college anymore, but I consult a lot of these guys, and I tell them all the time, it's great if you can go to Vanderbilt and all these other schools.
Oh yeah.
But sitting on the bench is not going to help you. I mean, unless you're just one of those guys, you know, probably not that talented. You just want to get the degree and you want that college experience. That's great. But if you're going to play and you want to play, especially if you have pro aspirations, you got to play. And it doesn't matter where you play; you just have to play. Yeah. Okay. If you're a pitcher, for example, if you're throwing 95, your 95 is the same at Vanderbilt as it is at a junior college.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But it's only worth anything if somebody sees it.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I preach this all the time to kids, and some of them get it, and a lot of them don't. You know, I grew up in California, and during the era that I grew up, junior college was actually better than D1 baseball because of the winter draft. So all the guys that wanted to get drafted in January went to junior college, and I'm not sure, but I think the NCAA complained about it, and that's why they eliminated the winter draft so they can start getting some of that talent.
Yeah.
But JJ, I mean, I saw statistics. I don't know the numbers, but there's a high percentage of major leaguers started their careers in junior college.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then transferred to a 4-year and then got drafted and ended up in the big league. So.
Oh yeah, some of the best players I've ever coached.
I was gonna say you got over 28 that have come 28 plus that have come through your coaching that are in pro ball now. So tell us about that, Coach.
About what was that?
You have over 28 guys that have come through your coaching at some level.
Yes.
Talk about some of those guys, where they are now, some of those guys are, and let people understand that you can at the JUCO route, you still can get there. And I don't know why a lot of people have gotten away from thinking about that, but going the JUCO route is probably the best route for a lot of players that are out here.
Correct. I agree totally. Just one off the top of my head, starting shortstop for the Chicago White Sox, Tim Anderson.
That's right.
Tim Anderson, I signed Tim at East Central Community College. Only offer he had to go to college. You know, he was a big basketball player.
Right.
But look at him. He was he AL batting champ last year or something like that? Because one, he was very talented, and
probably very raw.
He was very raw, but he got the reps that he needed.
There you go.
He got the structure. He got the reps that and he took off.
Yeah. That's good.
That's good. I mean, that's a great. That's a heck of an example.
And for any parents out there listening, 28 guys going on to the next level is not an accident.
Right.
Okay, so just so obviously this coach knows what he's doing and what he's talking about, and the information that he's giving, it works.
Right.
So because it doesn't happen at every school.
So Tim was one of those diamonds in the rough that you found. Who else would you say? Somebody that you that again had no offers, was just you happy to run across him. Somebody said, "Hey, coach, here's a kid you may need to look at." You saw him. You like what you saw. Was raw,
Yeah,
but you saw something in him.
Another one I would say was just Casey Mize.
Right.
He was not at Auburn. I saw when we committed him. He was, when I saw him the first time I saw him, we were at Rickwood Field in Birmingham.
Right.
And he was at a showcase, and he was 87 miles an hour. But he had a good frame on him. Had some feel for his curveball, and say 6 years later he's throwing 96. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think Casey is a guy. Nothing that I had to do. Obviously he put in all the work, and and I wish all the best for him. But he was a guy that wasn't a 90s guy out of high school. He was in the 80s, upper 80s, and when he got to Auburn, he got in the strength and conditioning program, and they were able to kind of put weight on him, and things like that that allows them to do that at the Division I level, and he just took off, but a lot goes to their character, and all the best players I always have that I've ever coached was off the charts character-wise,
Right.
So it kind of goes hand in hand with Tim Anderson and Casey Mize. Hand in hand, if they're a great player, a lot of times they're a great person off the field as well.
Right. So if you were to tell a player right now, I guess we can talk about the intangibles here. If you want to talk about the intangibles, talk about what you would say those top intangibles are for you. I know you just mentioned that about Casey, and you just mentioned that about Tim, but list off your top intangibles, because I don't think a lot of people understand how much the intangibles play into the selection of a player. You follow me?
Oh yeah, definitely. The thing for me is just, what I try to look for, is just I love like high energy guys. I love guys that have high energy, that love to play baseball.
Right.
But from a coaching standpoint, we spend more time with our players than we do our families. And,
right. True.
You want to be around guys that love the game as much as you do. And so I think surrounding yourself with guys that love the game, respect the game, and want to be team players kind of goes a long way. And that's kind of one of the first things that we look for in guys is do they fit into our program?
Right. So, Coach, we're here near the end of our time, but I want you to take the floor. Tell the world right here, because we put this out on our YouTube channels, and we're sending this out, and we send it out to players and parents and various Facebook groups, Twitter, blah blah blah, all the stuff, right? If you had the chance to tell somebody about your program, about you, what you bring to the table, what your program brings to the table, what would you say to that person right now?
Our program, is somewhere that one, like I said earlier, we want to maximize our potential. That's our whatever that roster is that year. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And not only that, is I want every kid to graduate. That's one of the main things, and because if they can graduate, that will allow them to go on, and that's kind of why we do this is to kind of see kids live out their dreams. So I'd say Phoenix City, home of the Chat Valley Pirates. It's just a small town that we just love baseball, and we have a great coaching staff that love the game and love to, pour all their energy into the players. And we're all on the same page as far as seeing guys live out their dream. It's not about us. We've had our time. It's about seeing the kids and watching them enjoy it and try to reach their dream. That's where we get a passion for them.
Absolutely, Coach. You controlling my buddy, Bill?
Yeah. full-time job. No, he does a great job with us. I'm happy that he's with us.
Yeah, tell everybody before you leave. Tell them about Bill. I mean, because we're gonna bring him on the show. I got to call him back here in a few days, but I'm gonna bring him on the show too, just to talk. But just talk baseball. But tell everybody about your pitching coach. He's the man.
Yeah, he is, man. Bill and I, we go way back. I played against Bill when I was with the Montgomery Biscuits.
Right.
And he was with the Smokies.
Right.
Actually, we faced Bill, and the first pitch of the game, he gets thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, for about 20 minutes, he throws cups all over the field. So fast forward about 4 years later, I'm sitting in the stands at a high school baseball game watching a kid, and the guy sitting next to him, and he says his name, and I was like, you wouldn't happen to have been the guy that – he's like, yep, that was me. But no, Bill's a great guy. We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
He helped out with us when I was at Central Alabama. I've got a lot of faith in Bill, man. He's one of my good friends, and there's not a guy that there's not a guy that cares more about the kids than Bill does. As far as he really cares about the kids. He wants them to see, wants them to, like we always talk. We want to see them live out that dream wherever that may be, whether it's Division II, Division I,
right?
SEC, wherever that is. And I couldn't be any happier, from a head coach's standpoint, with Bill being able to kind of turn over the pitchers to him and believe in him and trust, and he's a loyal guy, and I can't say enough good things about him.
Right. Final thing before we let you go, Coach. Next year, what are you looking forward to? What's on the horizon for the Chat Valley Pirates?
Man, anything under a national championship, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Oh wow! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I told y'all. I said at the beginning. I said at the beginning of the show when I was introducing him. I say welcome. I told him welcome to the show. This man is trying to build another championship program. People don't understand that.
Yeah, it's I've had the opportunity to win it once and go there 3 times.
Right.
And me and Bill feel the same way. We're tired of just going.
Yeah.
I want to come out there and win it. It's a great experience for guys. Going is great. It's great for the kids and things like that. But when you had the opportunity to go a few times, hey, I want to beat the best and compete against the best, and that's our goal every year is to win a national championship.
Right. Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth himself, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to tell you guys, listen, JUCO is not a bad route to go. You got a man that's trying to build a national championship program, and he's right around the corner from us. I keep telling you guys locally, hey, JUCO route is not a bad route to go, and especially when you got someone and a program that's actually trying to build you up and get you prepared. And who better than a guy that's been at every level of the game, from the professional level down to the collegiate level at the JUCO level, as a D1 coach. So he worked on getting you, developing you, getting you ready for a D1. And if you're not ready for the D1, or if you're more than ready for the D1, you may be ready for the draft. You can do it all at the JUCO.
Oh yeah, you can do it. I love it.
Can't many people say that. You got Carl. You had something. Go ahead. I see you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it sounds like he's doing things the right way, and you're down in Phoenix City, which I have some people down there. So I'm down there all the time, actually.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is I'm in Atlanta, so I'll definitely be referring guys your way.
Yeah.
Guys that I come across that need to go that route. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, my brother lives down in Atlanta. He used to coach at South Paulding High School when they kind of started the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of years, but now he's got a 13-year-old son, so he's kind of jumped on that travel ball route as well.
Right. Well, so I'm gonna say this, Carl. I told you I don't bring no pushover on my show. I don't bring no pushover on this show now. I bring guys that I know who are doing it and doing it the right way. We talked about Jeff, Coach Johnson yesterday. That's another guy that's doing it the right way. He's built the program that he's built, and it's world renowned. Chat is on his way to be world renowned just the same, because he's pushing the same thing. He's pushing the same way. And guys, if you're looking for somewhere to go, Coach, I don't know, whenever we do this pandemic, get over this pandemic, then how do guys get in touch? Do you have any showcases or any workouts or things that they can come to? I know the answer to that already, but I'm just saying you can tell the world.
Yeah, we don't have any dates set or anything just because of all this is going on.
Right.
But, we normally do have a showcase in the summer that we'll host, and but email, you can send me an email. You can go on, go to Chat Valley's website, pull me up, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to reach back out to you.
That'll work. My man, Hunter Vick, head coach, Chat Valley. Appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate the information that you're giving out, sir. We really do.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Be glad to have you. I'm going to probably bring you back for a round table that we'll do. We just bring a whole bunch of coaches on and just have a good round table. Just talk baseball for a while. Sounds good?
That sounds great.
All right, man. Appreciate you. You guys stay safe out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude, man. I've known him for a while. Just like I said, I'm trying to bring some good guys on that I know, and that are doing right by the kids and that are giving kids opportunities, especially the ones that focus on development. And that's what we always try to tell these guys. At the end of the day, people's jobs are on the line. Let me just talk about it from that standpoint. People's jobs are on the line when they bring players in. All right. We have to bring players in that are at the end of the day are going to be able to produce at the Division I level and even the level that we are. We're an NAIE program, but we have it's well over 22 players that are in the program right now that are D1 plus prospects, draftable guys. A kid we got right now, Cam Phelps. I hate that he's one of the ones that's been affected in this draft deal. He was probably going to go, I would say 16th, 17th round, right? He's a senior. Right. He could go later than that, actually, when I think about it, when we're talking about this. Kid runs a 6'3". When we say no-fly zone center field, and I'm talking about gap to gap, no-fly zone, right? And so he's one of those kids that's going to be affected here in the draft coming up. So,
he'll still probably get signed.
He's still going to get signed. He already told us that he wasn't going to try to come back. He was going to go ahead and try to get in because he understood. That's the thing we've been talking about. He kind of understands that, hey, now's a good opportunity for me to possibly get in and stay a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, he's kind of going that route. But, JUCO route not the bad route to go. We're building national championship programs. We are at Texas College. He's there at Chat Valley. These are guys that are looking to do the right thing. And those are the places where you want to make sure your kid or you as a player are at. If you're not ready, if you're not Auburn ready, if you're not ready to be at Auburn, there's no point in trying to go to Auburn yet, and sit behind somebody. Now, if you go to Auburn after your JUCO year and you sit behind somebody, that means there's people that are better than you. That's just bottom line. I'm just telling the truth about it. But if you go to a Chat Valley or Chipola or somewhere like that, and you get those reps in, and then you go play, you show up ready to play, not missing those reps that you would be missing at the high D1 level. Because as Coach Vick just said, you got to think about it. At the D1 level, there's not a lot of development going on. We don't have time.
Right.
And we got it. Even when we started making the changes at Alabama State, right? And even now, this is what I try to tell people. Even now at Alabama State, people's jobs are on the line. We don't have time as coaches at that level, right, to seriously do a lot of development. We need ready-made ball players. And what better route to go be a ready-made ball player than either one come out of a well-ran high school program, right? A well-ran high school program, or two, go from the high school program that you're at, to a junior college, get the development, get the reps in, and move on from there. Whether that be to a high-level Division I, mid-level Division I, whatever it is, I don't care which one it is at the same point. At the bottom line, either one of them I go to, I'm going somewhere that I can try to win a national championship. Let me say that again. I'm going to, at whatever level it is, I'm going somewhere where I can try to win a national championship. I am not going anywhere where you're not sniffing the snowballs in hell of making it to that championship. We just wouldn't do it. We know too much information at this point. We're giving you too much information at this point.
Right. If you're going to take advantage of it, then it's on you.
And that's what this podcast is about. Giving you information. Whether you use the information or not, it's on you. All I can do, my dad would always say, he's a National Hall of Famer himself. Winning's basketball in the state, fourth winning's basketball coach in the state of Alabama. Listen, I said, but he'd always tell you this: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, I use that one all the time. So I got a little add-on to it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can take a fool to school, but you can't make him think.
You can't make him think. You're right about that. And that's what we keep trying to tell these guys. Hey, so we're putting it out there, guys. We're bringing the information to you. And that leads me into tomorrow. My head coach is coming on. Happy Macon, head coach at Texas College. He's going to come on. He's going to talk some of the same thing about, he loved JUCO players. We're just telling you. Don't get us wrong. When we found a diamond in the rough high school player, like we did today, I signed one today. And then I got a JUCO, a D2 transfer that's coming that wasn't happy where he was at, and understandably. And I won't get into the details, but I can say I understand why. But you got a lot of opportunity happening right now. Like I said, he's coming on to talk about the Texas College program and what we're about and the direction we're headed. And that talks about, I can say it again, winning a national championship. My dad would always say, when somebody said, well, you just, he went to state championships like 20-something times and won like 4 or 5 state championships, whatever it is now, whatever, right? And they would always say to him, hey, Mr. Hobbs, how you doing? Matter of fact, I'm talking about dad and now. Mr. Hobbs just came on. That was his former principal. He would always say this when they would always say, well, you lost, coach. He said, well, I'll tell you what, there were a lot of teams that didn't get here. You got to get here to win it.
Yep.
There are a lot of teams that ain't here. That's what we're going to be saying this year. There are a lot of teams that won't be there. But we're going to be there. Yes. I said it. Hear me now. Believe me later. So anyway, just saying, at the end of the day, guys, Carl, I'll let you have the last word, man.
Yeah, good show. Great information, and I can't emphasize it enough. If you're trying to get better, don't overlook the junior colleges. Simple as that.
Don't overlook them.
That's it.
So, all right, again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, the We Play Baseball podcast will be on with the head coach of the Texas College program, Coach Happy Macon. We look forward to that interaction and that interview and kind of find out what's going on in his mind and where we are as a program and what we're going to be doing going forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time. We really do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. We hope you're taking this information and taking a lot of this information to heart. We're trying to make sure that we provide you with quality information so that you can better be prepared as a ball player, better be prepared as parents, because like I said, we're going to be bringing parents on of draftees, parents on of high-level college guys, JUCO guys. We're bringing parents on to tell you guys what it looked like for them. We just don't bring anybody on. So I can just tell you that now. These are people that we vetted out and we know based on their character and things of that nature behind the scenes, what they're about. And that's kind of the people that we'll be bringing on to, because that's what we're looking for as coaches, by the way. So you understand that what they're emulating in their lives is what we're looking for when we're signing players. We don't want somebody that's, we can tell Coach Jeff was talking about it yesterday. We don't want people that are coming in and, carrying your son's bag. We don't do that, okay? Walking over to the dugout, handing your son a Snickers or a Powerade, Gatorade, whatever it may be. We don't do that. Mom running up to the fence every 5 minutes to talk to son, how are you feeling? We don't do that. Just saying. So just point that out. Just giving some information. You heard it from Jeff yesterday. I had Hunter say something about it today. But hey, just pointing things out. The things that you as a parent, we're gonna do that show. That's the show we're gonna do. The things that you as a parent can do to keep your son from being signed. Or daughter, by the way. Son or daughter from being signed. That is a show that we're definitely going to do.
Okay. Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and, matter of fact, we're just going to go ahead and prepare for that one because I'm going to have a whole list. I'm going to play videos for this one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you have the things that to do and you have the things not to do. How about that? We're making that work that way. So
probably gonna be a lot longer.
This is a 3-hour special.
No, I mean that not to do list is gonna be longer.
It's gonna be longer. Yeah, you're right. So it's gonna be a whole lot longer. So root your kid on. That's what you do. No yelling and screaming. The game is gonna beat him down enough. But we'll talk about all this stuff later. So, Carl, appreciate you, man. As normal. Great to have all you guys come on watching. Whether you were on YouTube, whether you were on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, however you found it and watched it, we're glad to have you. We really